Hey everyone, so this is day number 3 of 90 days to pain-free movement. Yesterday I did zone 1, the wall test to assess shoulder mobility and shoulder movement. Today I'm actually sore from it. I can feel it in my neck, my traps, and my upper back. It was kind of took me by surprise. I did the test probably 5 times yesterday, just periodically through the day to assess that movement and just see how it felt in places I needed to work on. So if you tried it and you're also sore, don't be alarmed. It's totally normal and totally natural. It just means, just like for me, there's some glaring weaknesses there that I need to work on, and I need to strengthen that shoulder stability and shoulder movement. So today is going to be zone 2. So in this one is the windmill test. So the windmill test focuses on spine stability, trunk or core stability, trunk rotation, as well as some shoulder mobility and stability in there. So I've already done this about 10 times or so, and I've assessed my movement to find out where I pass and where I fail. I'll demo it just so you can see what I'm looking at, and then I'll walk through each point. There'll be 8 different points that we're looking at in this movement. So you're gonna start out toes straight ahead, feet about hip width apart, 1 foot slightly back. So your toes of your back foot should be in line with the midline of your foot or your heel of your front leg. So here, your starting position will be bicep by your ear. This hand, the bottom hand, or the front leg, that hand goes down. You're gonna look up, hinge backwards, down to the floor, back up. So normally with clients, what I do is at least 3 repetitions on each side so that we can make sure we're seeing where the form might be breaking down and where we need to see some improvement there. So if you need to go 3 repetitions on each side or more, that's totally fine. Like I said, I've done about 10 so far today, and I'll probably end up doing more as I keep assessing and keep monitoring that movement. So the 8 positions that we're looking for is, can you get your bicep by your ear? That's number 1. And then can you look up at your hand, right? That's number 2. So we're looking at just the range of motion of your shoulder and the range of motion in your neck. And then from there, can you retract your shoulder blades and keep your shoulder blades down and not roll forward? That's number 3. Number 4 is, can you hinge your hips backwards while maintaining that? Number 5 is, can you keep the bottom arm on the inside of your leg? Number 6 is, can you keep your back leg straight? Number 7 is, can you touch the floor? Number 8 is, can you keep your toes straight? So there's a lot going on there. It can take several movements to kind of really assess, or several repetitions, I should say, to really assess what's going on there. So for me, I personally label myself as a fail for number 1. So the ability to get here. Now, technically, I can get the bicep by my ear, but it's not a comfortable position for me. It's very, very tight in the shoulder, which we know from yesterday. I do have tight shoulders, so that all kind of connects and ties together. So I would label number 1 as a fail for me, and then I would also label number 3 as a fail for me of retracting my shoulder blades. I can do it, but again, just like with that shoulder complex, I have a hard time maintaining that position and being comfortable. It's not a comfortable position for me to be in. And then the next one, number 6, keeping the back leg straight. I can force that back leg straight, but it's, like I said, just like with the shoulders, it's not comfortable. There's a lot of tightness in my hamstring, and there's a lot of tightness on the inner thigh. So those are all zones that I would for sure label as a fail, and I might even throw areas. I might even throw the 5th one in there, which is keeping your arm on the inside of your leg. Depending on what side I'm on, sometimes I want to track forward a little bit. Again, you could go back to that tight shoulders, or just maybe some limited range of motion in the trunk rotation. But that to say is, those are for sure zones that I am labeling as a fail. So tomorrow we will do zone 3, which will be our final assessment before we start programming the exercises. So I will then go back through all my failed zones or failed movements and program mobility movements specifically for those areas to optimize the range of motion. We will then add in strength movements to reinforce good range of motion, right? So we get stuck here a lot, right? Because we're on our phones and our computers. We can open you up to here, but if we don't strengthen that range of motion, it's not going to stay that way. So after we go through all the assessments, add our priming movements to open up our joints and get better mobility and ranges of motion, we will then incorporate strength movements to help maintain that range of motion. Thank you for joining me for day 3, and I'll see you tomorrow for day number 4.